In our example here, we've already had a number of products added to our store. And if we look in our Pages panel, we can see that a products template has been created and that it's blank. Let's start our build by adding a symbol. We've already created a symbol for a navbar, so we'll drag that right into the body. And after that, let's add our next layout component. We'll use a grid element. And inside we have 2 columns and 2 rows, except we don't need that second row, so let's delete the second row. Now a class is automatically created when we started styling, so let's rename to keep things organized. And we'll set a minimum height of 80 VH, 80% of the viewport height. Next structural component. For this one, we'll use a div block. We'll drag a div block right into that first column. And we'll create a class for this one as well. We'll call it product image because we're going to put a product image right inside. We can do that from element settings. We can actually get the background image for this div from our main image field. This is in our products, our product image. Now this image is being applied to the top left just as any background image would, so we can make changes by adding a placeholder background. Now, why a placeholder background? Because the controls on this image will not only control this image, but other images for other products. So we're just making changes here once. Let's verify by switching to another product. And you can see instantly that each of the images updates. In fact, each of these product pages was automatically generated. We just had to design once. And that theme's going to continue. Let's go add another element, this time taking care of things to the right. Let's drag in a div block. We'll drop it into the right column. And this time we're going to use the div block to organize things. So let's continue the trend of keeping things organized by naming this. We'll add a class called Product Content Wrapper. And once we have that div block, all we have to do is add content inside. So we'll start with a heading. Just drag in a heading. And before we bind this to anything else, let's drag in a text block. And we're going to use each of these, the heading and the text block, for different purposes. The heading, if we just go into our settings, we can make a change. We can get our text from our product fields. In this case, we'll get it from the name field. And let's change the font so we can see what's going on here. When we change the font, it's more evident to us that it's pulling the name from that collection. We'll make a little adjustment here to the font size. And all our controls here are very granular. We could be using M's, Rems, but for this, we'll move on to selecting the weight. Now, let's make adjustments to the bottom margin. And this spacing looks pretty good. We can adjust the height, the line height. And for our bottom text block, we can bind that too. We can bind that to another field, in this case, price. And we'll use our keyboard shortcut here to test some of the different product pages, but you can see the names and the prices automatically update on each page. And what about our product description? Well, for that, we can just drag in a paragraph. And similarly, we'll get the text from the description, from the product description. And once that's placed, we can adjust the margin on the text block above it. So we'll just drag down to give it some breathing room. We can do the same thing with the heading. We can add some margin on the bottom underneath the heading. So in our site, we could be reusing these styles. So let's rename this specific style to keep it organized, price text, and we'll make some changes to it. First off, the color. Let's make it a gray. And once we get that right, we can affect the width of our paragraph. We can keep everything a little closer together by setting the width. In this case, we'll use 70%. What does paragraph 17 mean? Nobody knows. So let's change it from paragraph 17 to pricing paragraph. Now, since that div block we made, the wrapper, since that div block is a child in a grid, we can align that child inside that column. And we'll use that to center our content inside our grid. And from there, the sky's the limit. So we can add more content on our page, on our product page. So what we'll do here is we'll drag add to cart. We'll drag in add to cart into that div block. And we can control spacing from the content above by adding some bottom margin on the pricing paragraph, and we can make changes to all our styling. So for our quantity text, let's change the size. We'll change it to about 12, and we can change the font weight. We'll do 400 normal. And we can experiment. For instance, we'll take our quantity and change the background color. We can make it anything, but maybe for this design, white or even transparent would look better. And for rounding, we can make it really round or just square. And we can affect the size. In this case, let's do pixel values, 120 pixels wide, and we can set a manual height as well. And we can eyeball it here. Once we get it the way we want, let's make a change to add to cart. A couple things we want to change here. Let's play with the padding. So we can hold down Option to adjust padding on both sides at once. And we can do the same thing for top and bottom, creating a larger button here. And let's make a background change. Let's change the background color. We already have a brand color saved here. And let's name our class. We'll call it Add to Cart Button, continuing the trend of being highly specific. And for quantity, let's make an adjustment, a little gap at the bottom, And the Add to Cart button, let's make a change to the font size, dropping that slightly. Now, we may change this over and over again. We're eyeballing it and making changes as we see them on the screen. So for quantity text, we might want a little less space for that label. Now, that's a good example of what you can do building a product page. There's plenty more to do, but as you can see, each of these pages has been automatically generated. We designed once, and by binding our content, our e-commerce content, to the page, we were able to automatically generate pages for all our products. And that's building out a product page in Webflow Ecommerce.